end of the Civil War led to the freedom of slaves in the South and eventually led to the Military Reconstruction Act and voting freedom to African Americans. Former Confederates were upset by the slim freedoms and rights that were returned to former slaves. In 1866, a group of former Confederate soldiers met in the small town of Pulaski, Tennessee. The group wanted to control former slaves and protect what they thought should be American values. Nathan Bedford Forrest was voted the group's leader. He accepted, embracing the title of Grand Wizard. The group declared themselves as the Ku Klux Klan. The name originated from the Greek word kuklos, meaning circle or band of brothers. The Klan began to spread like wildfire. Men enlisted their wives and children, and the Klan quickly grew to over 3 million members. The Klan initially targeted African Americans, but over time brought in their hate to Catholics, Jews, homosexuals, and immigrants. The Klan took control of towns and made themselves the morality police, punishing anyone who didn't abide by their standards. The Klan had a terribly violent reputation. Klansmen would beat or whip not only targeted minorities, but anyone who spoke out against the actions of the Klan. The Klan famously lynched targets between the 1880s and the early 1940s. Some 4,500 people were lynched, including 41 Kansas citizens. Even though the Klan was committing these barbaric acts, they continued to operate without any law enforcement or political intervention. Though money, influence, and power of the Klan began to take control of the U.S., the Klan claimed that they had 15 senators, 30 congressmen, and numerous local officials throughout the state under their control. The Klan made its way to Kansas around the 1920s, quickly growing to around 60,000 members. The Klan held parades and gatherings to spread support, including a parade held by the Klan that ran right through Wichita, advertised to have 50,000 Klansmen and 500 robed horses to appear in the parade. Additionally, Kansas City held the Second Imperial Convocation in 1924. The Convocation was a meeting between only the most prominent leaders of the Klan, such as the Imperial Grand Wizard, or President, Dr. Hiram Evans, the Imperial Caliph, also known as a Vice President, and the Cloniculum, or Cabinet, consisting of the Clockard, Clud, Clegrab, Clabby, Clad, Clargo, Clexter, Clonzil, Nighthawk, and the 4th Klo Klan. The Klan had begun its terrible invasion in Kansas. William Allen White was born on February 10, 1868 in Emporia, Kansas. Son to a doctor and teacher, William Allen White grew up in a nurturing environment. He enjoyed reading and was described as a gentle and reserved child. He got good grades and went on to attend the College of Emporia and the University of Kansas. Though he never earned a degree, sheer luck, he claimed, got him a job at the El Dorado paper. White fell in love with the newspaper business, moving on to work as a reporter in Lawrence, Kansas, then an additional writer for the Kansas City Star. And finally, White ended up back in his hometown when he bought the Emporia Gazette in 1895 for $3,000. White became the chief editor for the Gazette and made it his mission to keep Emporia a positive and productive town through his weekly editorials. The Ku Klux Klan stood against everything White believed in, so when the Klan made its way to Kansas, White knew something had to be done to prevent the invasion of white supremacy. White began to write editorials aimed to bring the public out against the Klan. The Klan, meanwhile, was making its slimy way into Emporia and the surrounding towns. The Klan intended to seem good-natured to gain local approval by giving gifts to the community, hosting parades, and showing up to events. White fought the Klan every chance he got, so when the Klan asked White to approve a downtown parade, White said the only way he'd allow it is if they marched without their hoods. Furious, the Klan took the case to the city court. The case was, of course, corrupt, as the judge was a Klansman himself, and so the Klan marched. When the 1924 Kansas gubernatorial elections came around, both the Republican candidate Ben Paulin and the Democratic candidate Jonathan M. Davis accepted support from the Klan. The choice of candidates left White distraught. Although White had previously promised not to in his editorials, on September 20, 1924, White declared he was running for governor. He began his campaign by traveling through Kansas and giving speeches. He preached to prevent what he referred to as Klanses. White didn't only have the extinction of the Klan in mind, but additionally had economic, educational, and medical reforms to improve the state. Overall, White traveled 2,700 miles throughout Kansas and gave 104 speeches. Klansmen called White cowardly and un-American, but he remained unfazed. White didn't want to be the governor, but he believed it was his duty as a Kansas citizen, and worked till the very end of his campaign to beat the Klan. The votes were counted and the official results of the election came out on November 4th, 1924. White ended the race in third place, losing the race to Paulin by roughly 150,000 votes. White was not disappointed by the loss. He had accomplished exactly what he set out to do. Although he lost, the loss was a close one. He proved the Klan was unstable and that politicians didn't need to endorse the Klan to succeed. White's speeches, editorials, and determination helped to shine a new light on the Klan and expose them as racist frauds. Thanks to White, on January 10, 1925, the Kansas Supreme Court ruled that the Klan needed a charter to legally operate in Kansas, and removed the law that enabled the Klan to do so in the first place. When the Klan attempted to obtain a charter, the Kansas State Charter Board refused. In 1927, the Supreme Court refused to hear the Klan's repeal of the case, effectively running the Klan out of Kansas for good. The Klan quickly began to decline throughout the country, from 3 million to several hundred thousand members, quenching the once roaring flame to a couple embers. White continued to work against the injustices of the world in 1940, when he led a committee to confront the growing Nazi concerns. White spent the rest of his life making the world a better place, passing away on January 29, 1944. William Allen White let us know the importance of letting our voices be heard, even when it seems no one else is listening.
The countryside was cold and still. There burned a cross on every hill. Each cross wore a burning hood to hide its rotten core of wood. Mother, I hear the iron sound, hoofbeats on the frozen ground. Out of the night, those riders came. God, it was a crying shame to see the blood upon their whips and hear the snarling of their lips. Sister, I feel a stabbing pain. Blood comes down like summer rain. Each one wore a mask of white to hide his cruel face from sight, and each one sucked a little breath out of the empty lungs of death. Father, lift up my aching head. It's not easy to be dead. Now he who travels with a Klan, he is a monster and not a man. For underneath that white disguise, I have peered into